All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Twins Talk, or as you can see from the picture, I have renamed it today, Sox Talk, because the guy joining us today is the biggest Chicago White Sox fan I've ever met in my entire life. He shares my dislike for the Minnesota Twins, so we're crossing out the Twins Talk today and making it Sox Talk. The guy joining me is Josh Nowak. He is a player I had at Gulf Coast Community College when I was an assistant coach there. I didn't actually get to coach him for more than about 10 days, but I recruited him and helped get him there and everything. So we've stayed in touch ever since, and he's an interesting cat, and he's got some good stories. So we're going to have him on here and see what he has to say. All right, like I said, we're joined today by Josh Nowak, former player of mine at Gulf Coast State College. All right, starting off, I'm putting you on the spot. I got put up to this. What do we got to do? How much we got to Venmo you to overnight us Weber's Bakery?
Oh, that's like right down the block too, from where I'm at with my grandma's.
Yeah.
Ooh, on the spot, just throw me a clean $100. I'll get you there.
So Weber's Bakery is it's been there since what, like
1927, like a
right,
while.
long time. It's a bakery, and when Josh came to Gulf Coast, when him and his dad came down when he first moved in, he brought I don't even know how to describe
It's
it.
like it's a coffee cake.
Coffee cake, but like
Yeah.
there's nobody else has one like it. Like it's cream cheese and chocolate chip with Sarah's, and he brought it, and she's been obsessed with it ever since. Like it never goes more than like 2 days.
Didn't you guys drive like 12 hours to come get it or something like that?
So then that Christmas, I sent money to your dad to have him mail it to us overnight.
That's right. Yeah.
And then like 3 months later for spring break, we took a trip out, not just for that, but that was a big reason why.
That was probably number one.
Yeah, to go out and get that. So that was like getting to like the Mecca, like a big fucking trip. Like we finally got to go to Weber's Bakery. So
yeah,
pictures outside.
We got food here. That's about it.
Yeah. So, but anyways, Josh, when I was coaching at Gulf Coast State, now we got you. There was an email sent. I'm not sure exactly who sent it.
Maybe Dave Payton reached out.
That was like your travel team, right?
Yeah, my travel coach, head of the organization. I kind of figured out,
Reached out to Candyman.
Yeah, he reached out to Coach Candler.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yo, we got a player," and he's like, he can play.
Yeah.
But he's like a little undersized, like he's not getting the love that he wants.
Right.
And like, I was looking at it like, hey, like,
because what was the kid's name from your guys' area that came down?
Yeah, and there was another guy, Nick Ratachek.
Right. Yeah.
He was a small, like 5'7", 5'8" guy.
Right.
And he went down to Gulf Coast and balled out. He was like,
well, I think, and didn't Peyton set that one up kind of too?
Yeah, and then after that, he's like, yeah, I got like the same type of guy.
Right.
And
so then
Candler
knew that, like, obviously that guy had a good track record with him because he had sent a really good player. He called him the Rat, I think, right, Mikey?
Yeah, the Rat.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
So like he had a pretty good track record. He's like, we're gonna, even if this kid's not any good, we're gonna have him come down. I want to keep a good relationship, like
Right.
And it's crazy how like just little stuff like that can end up working out. Like
it's nuts. Yeah.
Email, and then obviously I got in contact with you guys, set up a date to come down. You guys, you and the legend.
Yeah, me and Maddie Ice, we flew into Atlanta. Yeah. Got in a freaking rental car, drove 5 hours to PCB, and worked out for you guys. That was awesome.
Yeah, you came down and you worked out, and like you said, you're undersized, and obviously you don't have anything that just completely jumped off the table, right. But like you catch and throwing in a second, everything's just boom right there, boom, boom, boom. I think you ran decent, like a 7-1 or something like that. And then
it wasn't blazing, but it was fast enough.
Not, fast enough. And then you're hitting, and it's just this consistent line drive. And I originally thought, because I don't think we were tight on scholarships, but it was like, oh, we're not really looking for a catcher. We already had a catcher.
Yeah, because you had Sabeto and Bland both signed there. And I was, at the time, I really wasn't even a catcher. I was like a shortstop utility, like can catch type guy, Right. You guys were like, screw it, we'll take him.
Yeah, and so I was thinking like, man, maybe Michael let him walk on. And because your dad had brought up to me, he's like, you know, maybe if I get a Florida address, you can get like in-state tuition,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know, like all this stuff. So
yeah, of
we had
course.
brought it up, and Mike was like, and we had talked, and I think it was before you left. He was like, "Yeah, we can go ahead and offer him." I was like, "Oh shit, all right." I was like, "I bet we get in for sure then." So,
Oh,
but
I
that was
was
pretty.
locked in. I was locked in from the moment I stepped on campus. I was like, yo, this is I mean, frick, you go
The best.
across, you know, you look, the beach is right there. I'm like, I could go to a junior college here in Illinois or frick Division I school, you know. I'm
Right,
like, where are you gonna, you know, because baseball down there is probably just as good. It's probably better than anything
right.
else in the country, you
Especially
know.
just the freshmen and sophomores. You know, it's like, and like the campus is nice, the field's absolutely beautiful, like the area is
Yeah,
awesome. It's like, and you're playing like I always tell people, like my first year there, Northwest Florida was national champs,
yeah,
and then my
nuts.
second year, um, I can't remember who won it, and then
It's
Chipola won it
probably
the next 2 years.
Chipola.
So like 3 out of the 4 years, like you know, like that I was kind of involved per
My
se.
freshman and sophomore year, Chipola won the whole thing.
Right, right.
And
So
to this day, like I've played a number 1 Mississippi State team. I've played a number 7 Arkansas team, number 11 Ole Miss team, number 20 Oklahoma State team.
yeah.
Chipola would just mop them all. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not even kidding.
Especially
I'm pretty sure like
your
the whole
freshman year when they were stupid good, right?
they had like I think they had 12 draft picks on a
Right.
24-man roster, like something crazy. I'm
Yeah.
like this team
Just
is
so
like
everybody
going.
knows, those two teams that we just brought up were both in our conference, not just like our state.
No,
They were
yeah,
in our
yeah,
conference.
yeah.
So
That's what we're playing. Freaking man,
yeah,
we played Chipotle like 100 times. I felt like, and it was just
yeah.
96 after
And we play
96.
them in the fall and shit too.
I remember calling my dad. I was like, "Yo, this is harder than I thought it was gonna be. This kid just come out. This junior Harding's throwing 100, man."
Oh my god, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So you know, obviously, and then we left, me and Sarah, you know, with Layla was born and stuff, and it was hard, and we ended up coming home, that's actually when we started expanding the Northeast Twins and having more than just one team and stuff. So you were still there. The last like class that I recruited, besides Little Wise, he was one of our guys, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
He was in early.
yeah, yeah,
You
him
called it
and
from the
then,
jump that that kid was gonna rake. You were
we,
saying when I like little wisely, you said he was gonna rake since the jump.
oh yeah, yeah.
You're
He
like,
could
this
hit.
kid
And
can
then we
rake.
had the Kelly kid too, the outfielder. He didn't pan
Yeah,
out, but
yeah.
we had those couple guys. But you were my last full class, and it sucked leaving. It was so hard. Like you recruit these kids, and you bring them in and say, oh yeah, we're gonna get this. You're gonna get better. We're gonna do this, and then
Yeah.
that shit gets in the way, and you gotta leave. So that sucked. But I always followed you guys, like watching the
Yeah, you
games.
were always like texting me like, "Yo, nice game." I remember you were sending me like videos, like the clips, like on opening weekend. I was like, "Oh, that's awesome."
Yeah, so I was always like trying to stay involved as or follow along as much as possible. But obviously, you had a couple pretty good years there, mixed in around some rollover 4-3s that we always used to laugh about. But
Yeah, that happens all the time, baby.
yeah, but so how going from there? How was your recruiting process? You know, what schools were you interested in? How did that all kind of shake out? And some people don't know, like when we are playing, as junior college, we're in the fall. Our first time out in the fall at Chipola, there's 50 schools and like 20 pro scouts there at
There's
least.
like there's like 3 coaches from each school there. Well, I mean, if it's a SEC, ACC school, they got 3 coaches there.
Yeah. So like
And
you
then
get
that's
so
just
much
college. Yeah.
exposure. You get so much
Nuts.
exposure, especially in the fall. But so how did that kind of recruiting process go for you? Like what schools were you talking to and stuff, and how'd you end up?
Yeah, there was a ton. I got a lot of because I mean I hit 320 as a freshman, so there was like a lot of chatter early on. And obviously like I was still undersized, like that never changed. But it was kind of like as soon as you throw up numbers in that league, you're like, all right, this kid can play. So
Right.
then like as soon as like the first weekend hit, I remember I had 2 hits against Chipola that first weekend. And I almost actually like I've had to fly home for a funeral. And then that's when Hurricane Irma came down. And I almost didn't come. I didn't know. Like I almost flew down. I almost missed my flight. So
Right.
I was like freaking out. Like I remember Charlie Grinick was at home, and he like came and picked me up from the airport in Atlanta because all the flights in the PCB were canceled.
Right.
So that was crazy. So yeah, then I had a good couple weekends, and then I started getting some calls. Arkansas Pine Bluff was the first call, which is in Arkansas. And then I remember I even got reached out to by like Auburn hit me up one time. It wasn't like too crazy, but like I knew from the jump that I wanted to go to a place that I was getting on the field.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wasn't really like, obviously, like I would like get these calls like from schools, and I would like pull up the roster, be like, "Yo, how many catchers do they got?"
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Because recruiters will say whatever they can to get you in the door. You know. So I was like, I'm just gonna see how it goes, and then I just kept playing, and then the All-Star game comes around, and I ended up starting that, which was awesome.
Right.
I ended up getting 2 hits there, and I actually, I had a good showcase. And then that's when I started really getting calls. Little Rock called me. Like North Florida called me. A bunch of schools back from up north called me, which was cool because literally the Florida JUCO All-Star game, freaking everybody comes
People
down.
fly in from all over
over the country. There were schools from California. There was a division school out in Hawaii, which was cool. They called me, and I was like, dang, this is crazy. So then like Memphis, that was a big one. So yeah, then I just kind of like, that's how I kind of narrowed it down. I was like, how am I getting on the field?
Right.
B, I had great grades at Gulf Coast, but I was like, they got to have my major is criminal justice major.
Right.
If they don't got it, I'm not going to go.
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah. So those were the factors, So.
Okay. And then did you take any trips or anything, or just to Little Rock?
I took one trip to Little Rock, but I hit 3 schools. I hit Pine Bluff, I hit Little Rock, and then I hit Memphis too. All 3 of them.
Was that kind of your 3 final schools that you were most interested in then?
Yeah, and then I was actually looking at Nicholls State too, pretty heavy with Kilkers.
That's where Trevor ended up, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah, we ended up throwing down on Friday night against him. It was crazy.
I know.
We got him.
That's for sure.
He's a dog. Yeah, he's a dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were like kind of the schools. And Missouri State was in there. That's where my dad played, so I always wanted to play there. But it just didn't look like it was gonna like work out. Like they reached out to me, but they had a freshman catcher that was like, I guess, really good. And I was like, listen, I'm being like, I'll always like people, coaches are always gonna tell you to like be realistic. Right. And I've always been the kid to like not be realistic, but at some point you kind of got to look at the writing on the wall and be like, all right, what's gonna happen? Right. And like a big thing, like I'm all for like coaches, like I said earlier, like they'll do whatever they can to get you in the door. But like at the same time, like this is a business, So like if you look at it, like they got 3 other catchers on scholarship, and I'm not. They're gonna play the guys on scholarship, Right. That's just the way like their job, like, you know what I mean? Like if you sign a big free agent, you're not gonna like not play him. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just the way that goes. The coaching side of it, you're always thinking like, what if like our one guy gets hurt and our 2 guy can't? We need to have a 3 guy. Like, but we'll tell the 3 guy he's gonna be like the 2 guy, maybe the 1 guy. Just
we'll say he could compete for the 1,
right?
And get him in the door because he could be, And
I'll tell you this: like, I've recruited, and you tell kids like you're gonna get a chance to compete. You fucking know who's gonna be the starter. Like, obviously,
you kind of see the writing on the wall, right?
Sometimes you're wrong, but like who you're bringing in. Like when we brought Jaquez in, like he's gonna play center field and lead off. Like that's you say like whoever else you can compete with him, but that dude's leading off and playing center because he's really good, or whatever it is. Like so, it's tough because. You try to help your kids that are going through the recruiting, like, hey,
right? Because in high school, like I was getting these walk-on offers, and I was getting Northern Illinois, UIC, Illinois, even a little like Indiana before the coaching staff left.
Right.
And if I would have pulled the trigger on that, I wasn't ready. You know what I mean? I A, wasn't ready, and B, as a freshman walk-on, I'm not getting any PT.
Right.
So, like, honestly, like, looking at it, it worked out perfect for me.
Yeah.
Because I would have pulled the trigger, just to walk around the hallways, be like, yo, I'm D1,
Right.
Like, literally, that's a big thing for high school guys.
Yeah. So a lot of kids get caught up in what's going to make the best cake party at the high school, on signing day instead of going for the best fit is for them. So
exactly.
How do you think?
And I'm not saying like don't reach for the stars. Absolutely. So that's why I went to Gulf Coast. Right. I could have easily settled at a Division II, but I knew that I was just as good as all these other guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? Always reach for the stars, but at the same time, you still got to be kind of realistic with it.
But it's good to reach for that, but you have to have a realistic plan to get there. You know what I'm
Exactly,
saying?
right.
Like,
I knew I was going to have to freaking go down the back alley where obviously, you know, a lot of guys that are 94, they don't
right,
have to do that. But me, I was 5'6", 5'7", 150 pounds soaking wet. I wasn't ready to catch, you know, 60 games. I just
right,
wasn't, you
right.
know?
Yeah. So
So
now, how do you like? Obviously, like you're at Arkansas Little Rock now. It's a good program. Like, how you like it there and enjoy it, and how was your time there?
absolutely. I mean, I freaking love all the guys there. You
Right,
know, I was able to the thing about Gulf Coast is I was able to grow a lot as a player, but not really as like an athlete. You know,
right.
but once I got to the Division I level, I was able to just hit a second wave, and I started hitting for power, started hitting balls out of the yard, which is crazy. But yeah, like I actually got on like a real we lifted at Gulf Coast, but it
Right.
wasn't great. You know, where I had like a strength coach. Shout out to Coach Lipo. Like I had a strength, and we just, you know, I was able to hit that. Like I was able to get the tools to get me to like a next level. You know
Right.
what I mean? So that was awesome about Little Rock. So
Right.
that's
Because
what
I
happened
mean,
there.
you've always been the guy that has the skill, and
Right,
now if you can
absolutely,
pair that with tools, I mean, that's huge. If you can, add that to your game.
absolutely. Because when I was in Florida, like I would be just like raking, and then freaking April would come around, and I would just hit a wall.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
my legs were like shot. I was like, it's 150 out. Like
Right.
the bat slowing down, you know. So
Right. All right. Now you get a chance to play every day at maybe the best name in all of baseball, the Macon Bacon Summer
oh, that
Ball.
was a
How is
movie.
that?
That was a movie. That was awesome.
Yo, your guys' atmosphere, it just seems like it's sick. Like this, like the whole thing there.
Oh my gosh, the way that happened was it like I love that. My dad told me my whole life, like you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
We were playing South Dakota State, and I had a great weekend. And the head coach for the Bacon was there, like one of their coaches.
Yeah.
And we had 4 games that weekend. I caught all 4. And he's like, the only reason I signed you is because you like the energy you brought on game 4. He's like,
I got a good one for you. I was
yeah,
supposed to go after the summer between senior high school, freshman year at Florida. I got called, like, even like it was in that I hadn't left for Florida yet, and the Cape guy from the Cape at YD called me, wanted me to play in the Cape.
the
So
Red Sox, right?
sweet. So that's my whole thing. I'm gonna play in YD in the Cape my freshman summer. Like end of May, early June, he calls me and says, we had 2 guys that were supposed to be on Team USA that aren't going to be on Team USA. They're coming here to play. So you can still come if you want to, but you're not going to get that much playing time. So I'm like, fuck, what do I do now? Like it's like late, like rosters are full and stuff.
Right.
So Sully starts calling around. The one guy we were playing, it was the same weekend we were playing at LSU. We're in like BP and warm-ups. I'm taking down balls, like diving for balls and like throwing reverse
Right.
and shit. And some guy's friend in the stands like called in the Northwoods League in Duluth and was like, dude, if you can get this, like, see if this kid has a place to play in the summer, like you have to get this kid. And it's like
You got to
in
get
that
him.
like same like 2-day period, like I got
Right.
told I wasn't going to the Cape, and I got to go there. And I got to play every day and fucking got
Oh
like
yeah,
200 at bats and got
that's
so
a
much
good
better.
league
It's
too. Those
crazy how that works out.
atmosphere is great in the Northwoods.
Oh yeah, big time.
Freaking awesome. Yeah, I mean those are the guys you need because summer ball. I mean you went through it. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, this is my 6th game of the week. It's 100 degrees out.
Yeah.
I don't want to play. You need the guys that got that freaking let's go, baby. You
Right.
know.
Yep.
But I mean, it was easy in Macon because there was 6,000 a night.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we had a bunch of dogs on that team. That was awesome.
Right. Yeah. So did you play there 2 summers?
No, it was. I literally
Okay.
begged and pleaded to get in the Northwoods, that league, or the Alaskan League. I couldn't find nothing.
Right.
And then I was like, I gave up. I was going to intern with the Chicago Police Department. I was like, whatever, I get it.
Right.
It wasn't meant to be. And then it all popped off in the last minute in like February.
Right.
Or March, whenever it was. And then I was like,
well, I'm not saying last minute. I got mine in May or June, so that ain't too last minute.
I mean, people got these things signed like 2 years before they even hit college ball.
Crazy. Yeah.
But I mean, that's not the type of guys we are, man.
Right. Yeah. So, all right. So obviously, we're going through something that no one's ever gone through with this whole COVID-19, just kind of messing everything up. What's that been like? Kind of what are you doing while that's kind of got everybody on shutdown?
I mean, my whole mindset with that is if you're not working somebody is like I'm trying to get as like, hey, we can run right now, like we can throw.
Yeah.
So my core right now better be as strong as it's ever been. Like, you know what I mean? I better be in the best running shape I've ever been in, you know, because that's what we can do. I mean, I got some weights and I'm swinging it as best I can.
Right.
But that's where my head's at. Like, hey, I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to do it better than everybody else. Because if you're not, somebody else is, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to, I need to work on my speed. So I've been on the jump rope, like nonstop, like on the jump rope, not the speed, like, you know, I've been working on some stuff. Yeah. So I'm trying to get that popped on like a 1-2.
There you go. So now we talked a little bit, and I'm kind of bringing up like I don't know. Now, what are your plans going forward with going for your final year of school, the extra year eligibility?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at graduate transfer somewhere. I'm not sure yet. We got a few schools out there reaching out. So yeah, I'm kind of open on the market, free agent. Yeah, I mean, this whole COVID thing's kind of crazy. I know a lot of guys. I know a lot of my Gulf Coast guys. They're all moving around too, you know, because I mean, it's like an influx of guys. It's like, all right, you know, like I'm a catcher here.
Well, that's like people are like, oh, we're gonna expand.
We got 3 senior catchers at Little Rock.
Yeah,
and it's like they were expecting us all to leave, and now we got 3 more coming in. So now there's 9 guys, you know.
Right.
So it's like,
well, that's what everyone was talking about. Oh, we're going to expand the rosters and they can give scholarships.
9, yeah, only 9 guys are still playing.
That doesn't change, exactly. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that doesn't change. That. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, like, we got to expand the dugouts pretty soon. That's what I heard.
So when do you plan on making a decision with that? Are you kind of riding it out for now?
I'm probably gonna wait till after the draft, post draft.
Right.
You still never know.
Gonna fall out.
Yeah, I mean, I've been yeah, we're gonna wait till after the draft because I know a lot of catchers, like, they're gonna get taken, they're not gonna get taken, they think they're gonna get taken, they're not. Right. You know, so we'll wait till after the draft. Hey, maybe I'll get my name called. I don't know. So we'll wait till after June.
Who do you come up? Because this is like obviously these decisions that you've had where, all right, I'm not going to jump at the first walk-on offer for Division I school.
Right, exactly. I want to be
I'm gonna find a place where I can play the most, or now I'm gonna wait until after the draft. Like, it's all really good, like, decision making. Does that come from Matty Ice? Does that come from Dave Payton, or where's that kind of come from?
Yeah, I mean, my dad went through the whole thing. You know, my dad was he's a JUCO guy too. Then he went to Missouri State, and then he played with the Orioles. But it comes from him, and it comes from myself. I mean, I'm a 4-year guy. Like, I'm a veteran. I know how these things go. You know, like, obviously, if I was a freshman, I'm a totally different guy. I've been through this whole thing. I mean, and Dave Payton's got a lot to do with it.
Right.
But I think experience is pretty much, like, I know how this rolls. Like, I've talked to enough coaches, and, like, you know, I know how this goes. I've been in those rooms, you know, where they talk about guys, you know. Yeah. So it's just kind of like the reality of it that, you know, I've talked to enough recruiters to know, like, when and when they're not, you know, just trying to get you the door.
Right. Because we always, like, I try to, like, mentor and help our kids as much as I can. And it's like, well, they told me I was going to come in and be a weekend starter. I'm like, yeah, but they told me 4 guys with 50 innings last year coming back. Like, right. You know, like, that's not how it's, you know,
that's just not looking good.
Like, but, like, you got to let them make their own decision. But at the same time, you're like, no, dude, like, I've seen this. I've been through this. Like, I'm trying to help you. So that's cool that you got a bunch of people in your corner that, you know, can help you make that. And then you got the head to listen to it, you know, so.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, I'm still stubborn sometimes.
Right, yeah.
You know, like Matty Ice, he'll tell me something. I'm like, he'll tell me exactly what I was thinking. I'll be like, no, that's not it.
Like, no, I know that.
You'll get it pretty soon.
I know it's going to be a first rounder, but fuck him. I'm better than him. I don't care.
Exactly.
So, if they play a 2020 MLB season, World Series champs.
Chicago White Sox, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go. Are you still on the bandwagon or what? This is wild.
That's my AL team.
Oh, yeah. Who's your NL team?
Phillies.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that. Oh, they're going to be freaking good.
Yeah, so they both – I picked a couple –
Didi was a huge sign there.
I picked a couple good, like – because I did it a couple years ago, like, nice up-and-coming, like
Yeah,
like roster,
franchises.
good rosters, good cores, but they got like a lot of
Yo,
money.
as soon as the White Sox got good, this thing just popped off.
Yeah. What's
They
the
were supposed to have a year, but like
is that
Kopech's
the
coming back now. We're gonna be good.
is that the feel of like kind of like in Chicago, like they're expecting them to be pretty good?
They were the like demand like the fan base of the vibe here is like almost like demanding at least 83 wins.
Right.
Like, because if not, I mean, we've been rebuilding for like not as long as the Cubs did, but it seems like a while.
How do you feel about the Cubs? Let me ask you that.
I hate them. I hate their guts. I literally can't stand the Cubs. I got two favorite clubs, baby: the White Sox and whoever's playing the Cubs.
What about who's your least favorite Cub?
I don't know. That's
I just want
it's
to
hard.
punch
Like
Bryant.
my gut reaction's Javi Baez, but he's so sweet.
Yeah.
I think Rizzo. I think he's the biggest tool on the Cubs.
Right.
He's screaming like "respect me" after that bloop single. That really pissed me off to this day.
And then
Respect me. That thing
doesn't Chris Bryant just have like a very punchable face? Like
he does. He's a man dime though. He's a good looking guy. In the straightest way possible. I mean, he's like,
yeah,
he's a good guy. I mean, I know like someone I know talked to him, and I guess he's a pretty good guy.
right.
But I mean, the whole roster. I mean, I don't know. Can't stand any of those guys.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on here. We're gonna do this again. We'll have you come back on. We'll talk like hitting or shit like that, and really get into it. But I just wanted to get on here and have you kind of tell your story and everything. But I appreciate you coming on and always staying in touch. And we'll have to figure something out for that Weber's Bakery.
Oh yeah, I'll get it in the mail soon. Maybe a little Giordano's too. Why not?
Yeah.
Better than Limonati's, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on. You're the man. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. Adios.